to another episode of Brain Ladle. I, as you can tell, am not your normal host, Davo. Davo is busy tonight, and I can't do this anymore. I can't. This is Davo's gone again. I keep coming up here. It's time to tell the listeners the truth. Davo, the boy wonder, has been kidnapped again by the Riddler. The whole scheme this time was simply the Riddler pulled up in a white van without windows and said, "I have puppies. You want to see the puppies?" And apparently Davo jumped in and tied himself up. And we're just so tired of having to rescue the boy wonder Davo every damn week. So Riddler, if you're out there, we're done. We're going to send you all the different prescriptions you need to keep him alive and keep him out of the sun. And feed him mostly beef jerky and seltzers. You should be fine. Good luck with that. All right. With that out of the way, today, as always, we have my buddy Kells.
So he tied himself up. Oh, no, well, that's so funny to me, but that's hilarious. He tied himself up.
How you doing tonight, Kells?
Hello, everyone. Oh, good.
And we also have a guest tonight. We have Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
Hello. How are you doing?
We're good. Where are you from?
I am from St. Louis. St. Louis,
St.
Missouri.
Louis. Does that make you a Cardinals fan?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. I don't know why we don't screen guests ahead of time, but there we go. And you teach in St. Louis. You teach, what do you teach?
I'm a high school teacher, and I teach business ed. So
Wow.
I have like a graphic design class with Photoshop and Illustrator. And then I also teach like an intro to law class.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. So you're like me. I teach AP US history, and it's the end of both of our years, so we're getting a little punchy at this point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm literally punchy with the students, but they frown on that. But getting close. And also tonight we have the Sensei.
Hey,
What are we doing, Sensei?
Well, I thought we'd play some trivia.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hey.
The way we do it is every week we have a theme, and within that theme we've got 6 categories of 4 questions each. Each question's worth 10 points, plus maybe a few bonus points thrown in here and there, and then a final question, which is worth up to 100 points. And today's theme is a mystery.
Mystery themes.
Oh,
So the way the mystery theme works is each category has kind of a mini theme. I'm not going to tell you what the theme of that is of each category, but once you figure it out, those 6 categories together will point you to the mystery theme. And the way we're going to do that is, I think the first person to send me a private message with the correct theme gets 15 points. Second person gets 10 points, and the third one gets 5 points. But you only have one guess. So if you guess and miss, you will get 0 bonus points.
How will Kevin be private messaging you?
Okay.
We've worked that out already.
Yes.
Well, I have this image right now of both of you having like tin soup cans and a long string.
A really long string. Yeah.
Although we're both in Missouri, we're quite a ways away, so that wouldn't really be practical.
Oh, that's right. Technically, you're both in the same
Very
state,
long
just on the extreme corners.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's get started with category 1. Question 1. What was the name of the act that provided for U.S. aid to the Allies fighting against Nazi Germany and essentially ended America's pretense of neutrality in the war?
Locked in?
This is kind of an Andy question, I think.
Yeah.
I would nitpick a little bit if I'm right, but
Locked in.
Well, this is basically
Yeah.
that information I got from the first paragraph of Wikipedia. So
well,
take
Wikipedia
it
would
up
never
with
lie.
Wikipedia if you have a question, if you have an issue.
Well, I didn't expect to have to do this on the first question, but I'm going to have to call out special teams.
Oh no!
Oh,
Wow.
there you go.
Yeah,
bold.
looking at 4th and 23. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's start with Kels
I said the Open Door Act.
and Kevin.
Now Ray Guy comes in for his first punt of the day. Kick is away. There's a high twisting hang time spiral.
I'm
Thanks
just trying
for
to do that
filling
thing
in.
Gabo does with his little balled up fists.
And Andy,
The Lend-Lease Act?
that is what I have. Andy, do you have a nitpick with that?
I would only say that Wikipedia suggested that ended our neutrality, but the whole idea behind the Lend-Lease Act was to retain our neutrality because we weren't giving supplies to the Allies. We were lending them or leasing them. We just weren't asking for the money up front. It was a way FDR could circumnavigate the Senate.
So it technically ended our neutrality, but it essentially ended our pretense of neutrality because we weren't doing that. We weren't doing that with Germany.
I guess that's fair. You're right. That's fair.
All right. Question 2. Liberation Day in Ethiopia is May 5th, the day that the emperor re-entered the capital after it was freed from fascist Italian occupation by a group of British Commonwealth, Free France, and Free Belgian forces. So the question is, who was the emperor of Ethiopia at that time? And for a 5-point bonus, what's the capital of Ethiopia?
I know the first part of this question.
You don't know the geography part?
I'm locked in.
I'm afraid I might confuse it with another capital.
I am calling out Ray Guy.
Wow. Two
I know. I know.
In the,
We're just getting...
in the first act. All right. I'm locked in.
All right. Let's start.
I got nothing.
Let's start with Kevin.
The only thing, and I'm probably wrong with it. Selassie, maybe for Ethiopia, or that might be Jamaica, but I know the capital, or I believe it is Addis
Nice.
Ababa.
Wow.
Okay. And Kels.
Um,
Oh, I'm
Haile
sorry.
Selassie.
I skipped right over Andy.
Now Ray Guy comes in for his first punt of the day. Kick is away. There's a high twisting hang time spiral.
All right, Kels.
it is Haile Selassie and Addis Ababa.
Correct answer is Haile Selassie and Addis Ababa. So, Kevin, do you know why you thought that might be Jamaica?
I think he's associated with Rastafarianism.
He's like the man god of Rastafarian. In fact, his real name was Tafar, and Ras was a title. So
okay.
Rastafar literally refers to Haile Selassie.
Land
The
of
more
Judah.
you know.
Yeah. All right, question 3. The first commercial TV station was WNBT and had 2 game shows on its first day of operation. Name either of them.
2 games. WNBT.
Yeah. It later became WNBC,
Gotcha.
and it's in New York, but that doesn't really help you, I don't think.
No.
I know one of these for sure.
I'm locked in with a guess.
Same. I am locked in.
Locked in?
Andy?
Spelling bee?
Kels?
Truth or consequences?
Oh,
Kevin?
I like that.
I
one
just
better.
guessed to tell the truth.
Well, the correct answers are there was a single episode of Truth or Consequences. It didn't come back on the air for quite a while after that, but that is one. And the second one, Andy, I'm going to give you half points. The other show was called Uncle B, B-E-E.
Uncle B.
Yeah, but it was a spelling bee, right?
I'm not actually sure.
I think it was.
It
but
might have
okay.
been, and that's why I gave you half points
Yeah.
for that. And finally, question 4. American artist Gutzon Borglum is probably best known for completing which large sculpture?
All right, I've got category 1's theme figured out.
Really?
Do you?
Pretty sure I do. I don't know what the mystery theme is, but I think I know what category 1 is.
I tried to make the first category pretty obscure so nobody would guess it right away.
Good job, Andy.
Well, I'm not sure.
I'm locked in with a guess.
Locked in?
I'm locked in.
Okay. Let's start with Kels.
I got to thinking sculptures. The only only two that came to mind. American sculptures were Mount Rushmore and Stone Mountain. I went with Mount Rushmore.
Kevin?
I think he's also associated with the Crazy Horse sculpture, but I know that one's not done. So I went with Mount Rushmore.
And Andy?
Well, technically, Mount Rushmore is not done yet either, but I went with Mount Rushmore as well. That's the only American large sculpture I can think of.
Correct answer is Mount Rushmore.
Man.
All right, so was that?
So interestingly, he also developed his techniques while working on Stone Mountain. But although he seemed to sympathize with the KKK, he kind of had a falling out with them. And so he left that project and they basically blasted off the work that he had done.
Oh, really?
That's petty.
So he developed some of the techniques he used on Mount Rushmore at Stone Mountain.
Oh, wow.
And for some reason, he also did a memorial in Poland of Kell's least favorite president.
You're not serious.
Yeah, he did a Woodrow Wilson memorial in Poland.
Oh, you know what's funny? I went off on Woodrow Wilson because I really don't like him, but he's not my least favorite president.
Well, we're not going to get into politics.
Okay.
Who is your? No, I gotta know who is.
Andrew Jackson.
That's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's legitimate. I'd have to go with Buchanan for myself, but
There's so many to pick from.
Yeah.
all right. I am confident now that I got category 1 figured out.
All right.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
at the end of category 1, Kevin and Andy both have 25 and Kells has 35.
Yeah, this is the way it's going to be, by the way, Kevin. You and me behind Kells. Get comfortable.
No problem.
So let's move on to category 2. Question 1. Who sang her hit Teenage Dream at the 2015 Super Bowl?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Brain fart.
And it's Aretha Franklin.
I could see her with Left Shark. There it is. There it is. Locked in. God, I just panicked there.
Kevin,
Katy Perry.
Andy,
Katy Perry.
and Kells.
Katy Perry.
It is Katy Perry. Question 2. What was the first YouTube video to reach 10 billion views?
Was it that one of Davo choking on a donut?
We didn't film that one. It's just
Oh, we should have.
one in our hearts.
That was funny.
I'm locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in.
All right, Andy.
All right, it's the British kids and the one kid's saying, "Don't bite me," or something.
Charlie bit my finger.
Charlie bit my finger. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
It really hurts.
It really hurts. Charlie bit my finger.
Kels
I went with Baby Shark.
and Kevin.
I went with Gangnam Style.
Ooh, that's a good one.
One of you
That was
got it
my number
right.
2.
It is
Kells.
Baby Shark.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. How about a movie Tribond?
Let's do it.
I'm going to give you
All
three actors. You tell me the movie that they all were in together.
Okay.
Taylor Lautner, George Lopez, and Kristen Davis. I'll give you an easy mode for half points if you need it. I'll tell you the year that the movie was.
Taylor Lautner, George Lopez, and you said Kristen Davis?
Yeah.
I'll take the easy mode.
Same.
I'm locked in.
Actually, I don't know what the year would help.
I think I got this.
I'll take the easy mode as well.
Okay. So Andy's locked in. Kevin and Kells want the easy mode. Easy mode is it came out in 2005.
I've got a guess.
All right. I'm writing down nonsense. It's not even a movie, but I'm locked in.
All right, Kells.
Twilight in the City.
Kevin.
I don't know who's in this movie, but I know it has a big cast, so I went with Valentine's Day.
All right.
Mm.
And Andy.
The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
The correct answer, I'll go ahead and give it to you, Andy, but the full name of the movie is The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl in 3D.
Oh, I didn't see it in 3D.
I didn't see it at all because the title was not appealing to me.
I read the description of it, and it sounds really dumb, but
Yeah.
I do remember when it came out.
If your star power is George Lopez, probably not going to be a great movie.
Yeah, I think George Lopez and Kristen Davis played the parents, so they probably didn't have huge roles. It was really a Taylor Lautner movie before he was anybody. I mean, he was a little kid, yeah.
I should have known that. I had a student that looked like Taylor Lautner back then, and he would talk about that movie. So,
And finally, question 4: what band had a top 10 hit in 1989 with the song "Once Bitten, Twice Shy"?
Locked in.
Locked in.
A little before Kel's time.
Man.
Right in my wheelhouse of bad music.
I'm like that.
All right. Let's start with Kevin.
I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but I'm a high school teacher in my early 50s. I love music trivia, love the Beatles, all that kind of stuff. Except I don't know anything about trains, but I do know about wrestling. So, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, that's a fair trade-off.
That's a fair trade, yeah.
Yeah. But this is Great White.
Andy
This is indeed Great White.
and Kels.
I said Jets versus the Sharks.
Correct answer is Great White. All right. At the end of category 2, Kevin has 45. Andy and Kels are both tied at 55.
Man,
I
really
think
trying
I
to catch the
have,
theme in that second one.
I think I have the theme figured out. The whole thing. I'm holding on. I want to see what
The whole
category
show?
3 is. Yep.
Wow.
All right. Category 3, question 1. The CIA established the Groom Lake Test Facility in 1955 for the development of what strategic reconnaissance aircraft? And I have an easy mode, maybe more of a breezy mode for half points.
Locked in.
I'm lock in.
I'm going to lock in.
All right. So nobody wanted the easy mode. My easy mode was Paul David Hewson might have liked that plane.
Wow. I feel more confident in my answer now.
I don't know who that is. Who? Paul David Houston?
Paul David Hewson, better known, Andy, as who?
Bono?
Yep. And your answer?
U2.
Kels?
Oh. I like that. The SR-71 Blackbird.
And Kevin?
U2.
Correct answer is U2. Question 2. What recent Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductee has won 15 Grammys, including Best Hard Rock Performance wins for the songs All My Life, The Pretender, and White Limo?
Locked in.
And by recent, it's in the last few years, not this year.
Locked in?
Oh, there it is. Got it. All right.
All right, let's start with Kels then.
I think it's the Foo Fighters.
Kevin?
I saw them in concert last summer, and I don't know
Nice.
White Limo, but the other two are definitely by the Foo Fighters.
And Andy?
Yeah, I got hung up on current stuff. So at first I was singing Dolly Parton's White Limousine. Then I was thinking to Judas Priest do these songs because they're up for induction, but it's Foo Fighters.
Correct answer is Foo Fighters.
I didn't know that they were Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
I always thought that was kind of a dumb name. Apparently, when after Nirvana stopped doing what Nirvana did, he put out a demo album. Dave Grohl did, and he just called it where he played all the instruments, and he called it Foo Fighters. And the name just kind of took hold once he built an actual band, and he said he regrets it because it's the dumbest effing name for a band you could ever come up with.
Wow. So he built the band around himself. He did everything first.
Yeah, his first demo album, he played all the instruments.
Wow.
Question 3. What colorful term is often used to describe an almanac, buyer's guide, or other compilation of statistics and information?
Well, I was going to say almanac, but you have that in
Yep.
question.
And it's a colorful term.
A colorful term. Locked in? Category 3 has me stumped.
I thought you had it.
I thought I did too, but then he threw me a curveball.
Well, it tends to happen.
I don't know, so I'm just going to lock in with what I have.
Sure, that's not a bad idea. I'll do the same.
I'm just trying to go
like-
sweet.
All
All right, everybody's locked in.
You're making
Yeah.
it known. Yeah.
Let's start with Kevin.
I just said Blue Book.
Andy
Blue Book.
and Kels.
I also said Blue Book.
Well, that sweep didn't work out the way I wanted it to. The correct answer is Blue Book, as in the Kelly Blue Book and lots and lots and lots of other blue books out there. The state of Missouri has a blue book that they used to publish up until about maybe 10 years ago. Now it's strictly online.
Yeah, my mom used to work for the Missouri Lottery, and so we would get the book every year since
Yeah.
she was a state employee.
Okay.
All right, and finally, who was the most recent president with the most common presidential first name?
Most common presidential.
I am locked in.
All right, Andy,
George Bush Jr.
Kels,
George W. Bush.
and Kevin.
Jimmy Carter.
The most common presidential first name is James.
James.
Oh, good.
Gosh.
Good on.
So
Oh,
most recent James is James Earl Carter Jr.
yeah.
All right. At the end of category 3, Kevin and Andy have 85. Kels has 75. This is a game we're having here.
It is.
Okay, no, you know what? I am lost on category 3. Category 1 and 2, I'm so proud of. Category 3 makes no sense. I'm returning this category 3 back to the kitchen. It's not done yet.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
I
told
have
you
no
I'm-
idea for 3.
I'm trying to make them more obscure. I can explain all of these and how they fit in once we're done.
I don't know.
Oh, I
That's the
can't
beautiful part.
Let's move on to category 4. What 2 NBA teams drafted players in the 1995 expansion draft? And I have an easy mode for half points if you need it. And they'll give you 5 points each.
Easy mode.
I am locked in.
I'll take the easy mode.
So Kels is locked in. Andy and Kevin want the easy mode. Easy mode is they were both Canadian teams.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was going to guess. I should have just gone with it.
Which should make it a pretty easy mode.
I
Except
don't
for Andy.
do
He's going
basketball.
to struggle.
I got one, but I don't know what the other one is.
I'm just proud that you got one.
Locked in.
Kels?
The Toronto Raptors, and
Yep.
at the time they were the Vancouver Grizzlies. Now they reside in Memphis.
Andy?
The Toronto Raptors and the Canucks.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Oh, man. You were
And
close.
Kevin?
The Raptors and the Grizzlies.
Correct answer is the Vancouver Grizzlies and Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
So Kel's got full points. Kevin got 5. Andy, I'll give you 2 for getting one of them.
Thank you.
Foot on the line, Andy.
Question 2. What was the longest running network animated TV series until it was overtaken by The Simpsons in 1997?
Locked in.
Locked in.
See, and I got the theme for category 4.
But this doesn't make sense. Oh. Ah.
There it
If-
is.
Okay. I'm locked in.
Okay. I'll start with Andy.
If there was justice in this world, it should have been Scooby-Doo meets the Jackson 5. They could have worked on that. There were so many episodes there. But I'm going to go with the Flintstones.
Kevin
I went with Scooby-Doo.
and Kels.
I said the Flintstones.
Correct answer is the Flintstones. I think the key word there is network. The Scooby-Doo
Yeah.
would have been syndicated.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell is this show about?
Question 3. What character debuted in 1990's Super Mario World and is known for his cheerful personality, ability to lay eggs, and his flutter jump?
Locked in.
Locked in?
Locked in.
Kevin?
Yoshi. I don't know.
Kels?
Yoshi.
And Andy?
Oh,
Yoshi.
It is Yoshi. All right. Kels, I apologize in advance for this one.
Oh, thanks.
What band,
Appreciate it.
led by Mark Bolan, had 10 top 10 hits in Britain in the early 70s, including their only top 10 US hit, Get It On?
Locked in.
locked in.
Marvin Gaye wasn't British. Yeah, you said get it on, not let's get it on.
Correct.
All right. Locked in.
Their song's actually better known by another name, but it was originally just Get It On.
Mm.
So let's start with Kels.
Dino and the Dinos.
Andy
T-Rex.
and Kevin.
T-Rex.
Possibly considered by some to be the first glam rock band
Yeah,
is T-Rex.
I would agree with that assessment.
Kels, I don't think this would help you. The song was kind of renamed to Get It On and then in parentheses Bang a Gong, or was it the other way around?
No, Get It On, Bang a Gong. And
Yeah.
Smokey in the Boys Room is also one of their big hits. Later covered by Motley
Isn't that
Crue.
Brownsville Station?
Oh, you're right. It is Brownsville Station. You're right.
Okay, someone needs to make a note of this. That Andy was
Andy was
corrected.
corrected.
Wow.
Sorry. I overset my
That's solid. No,
Sorry.
you're right.
No.
You are
No.
right to correct me there. What am I thinking of?
Never miss an opportunity to correct Andy.
Yeah,
So you did the right
please.
thing.
See, I always thought "Smoking in the Boys Room" was a Motley Crue song, so
Yeah,
shows
that
how
was a
much I know.
cover for sure.
All right. At the end of category 4, we have Kels with 105, Kevin 110, and Andy 117. It's still anybody's game.
All right, this
It's turned.
theme is pissing me off.
Not pissing me off.
Well, just wait. It's going to get worse probably.
Okay.
Because category 5 is coming up.
Uh-huh.
Question 1. What's the capital of Puerto Rico?
Nobody knows that.
Locked in.
Kels knows. Bunch of Puerto Ricans know.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess the only city I can think of.
Technically, it's Washington, D.C., and don't let them forget it.
Make a mistake.
I got no idea. I'm putting down the only city I know of as well.
All right.
In Puerto
You probably got it
Rico.
right. You probably got it right there.
Kevin,
San Juan.
Oh,
Kels,
please be right.
San Juan.
and Andy.
San Juan.
It is San Juan. All right. Question 2. What former runaway has a bad reputation, hates herself for loving you, but loves rock and roll?
Locked in.
Locked in.
All right. Kels,
Joan Jett.
Andy,
Joan Jett.
and Kevin.
Joan Jett.
Of course, it's Joan Jett.
Hmm.
Question 3. What NHL expansion team initially played at the Cal Palace in 1991 before moving to SAP Center a few years later?
I know where the Cow Palace is.
You do know where it is?
Yeah. Because a lot of wrestling events took place there.
Yeah.
Like in the 60s, 70s.
Some hockey too,
But-
apparently.
Apparently.
Did you give a year on the expansion?
1991.
Okay.
No idea.
Got to guess. Locked in.
Okay, I'm locked in.
All right, I think I have an idea on the theme, so I got my guess.
Okay.
For category 5, at least, the theme.
So let's start with Kels.
San Jose Sharks.
Andy,
The J.J. Walkers.
Wow,
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Kevin,
The Sharks.
Correct answer is the San Jose Sharks.
Wait a minute. So Sharks.
there that goes. I know what you thought it was.
Jose. Sharks. Of course, it could still. All right.
Could be.
Question 4. Only 2 people have won both the EGOT and the Triple Crown of Acting. One is Helen Hayes. Who is the other? So just
EGOT.
to be clear, the EGOT means they won an Oscar, a Grammy, an Oscar, and an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. The Triple
Mhm.
Crown of Acting is winning a competitive acting award in the Oscars, Emmys, and Tonys. So like a lot of EGOT winners are
All
like
right.
musicians
I'm
and
locked
stuff,
in.
but these are actors.
I have a guess based solely on. Yep.
Locked in.
It's just leaped to mind. I'm feeling good about this.
I'm locked in and I'm still confused.
Okay, let's start with Andy.
James Earl Jones.
Who's maybe one of those.
Kevin?
I just
He should have.
Agreed. I'm not gonna fight you.
Just
on
for
that.
This Is CNN right there. There's your Emmy.
I guess Barbara Streisand.
Ooh, that's good.
And Kells.
Rita Moreno.
Correct answer is Rita Moreno.
Almost thought about her. Or I almost said her.
All right, at the end of category 5, we have Andy with 137, Kevin with 140, and Kells with 145.
All right. I need to take a 30-minute break with my World Book encyclopedias. Nothing makes sense. I was hot in the beginning.
It's anybody's
Okay.
game.
Can I just say, after further review, nothing connects anything category 5 or category 3. There's no connection in either one of them. Unless the theme is random category.
Ooh, I didn't even look at that one, Andy.
Could you do that?
I
That'd
could,
be
but
diabolical.
I didn't.
Diabolical.
Maybe I was really happy with this one when I wrote it. Maybe I made it a little bit too obscure.
Yeah. Normally, when you're really happy about something, it's going to cause us pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, that's good for ratings. The
It's
more
fantastic.
Andy is upset, the more
Uh-huh.
people listen.
But we have a guest today. Like,
I know, and I bet he's having a good time listening to you complain.
Oh, I'm enjoying it, but I have no idea either. So
okay.
yeah,
I-
I'm
maybe-
just as lost.
Maybe we'll have a mystery thing that nobody gets.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, category 6. Question 1. Who was the tallest American president?
ooh, locked in.
I feel like
Feels like a trap,
Yeah.
it
but I'm
does.
locked in.
Yeah.
As I've heard, I feel like
I'm
I've heard
locked
this
in.
debunked before, but I'm gonna go with him anyway. I'm locked in.
Okay. Let's start with Andy.
Lincoln?
Kevin?
Lincoln.
And Kells.
They make a fine Continental Lincoln.
Coming in at a 6'5", we've got Abraham Lincoln.
Yep.
6'5".
George Washington would have been my second guess, followed by LBJ.
I didn't know he was particularly tall. Well, either of them.
LeBron's 6'9".
George Washington was 6'2", I believe.
Mm.
As Benjamin Franklin said when George Washington got the nod to be the head of the Continental Army, he was the tallest guy in the room. He was bound to be put in charge of something.
Question 2. Who's the only president to have received a U.S. patent?
Locked in.
Oh, we've had this before. This one
Oh.
always trips me up. I'm locked in.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
So let's start with Kevin.
This is also Abraham Lincoln.
Kels
I said Wilson.
and Andy.
See, I have never been more nervous than I am right now because in my hearts and hearts, I know it's Lincoln, but then why would you do two Lincolns? But it's Abraham Lincoln. It was a thing for boats in the canals.
That's absolutely correct. It was Abraham Lincoln. And that's
What are you
exactly
doing?
that's exactly why I would do two Lincolns in a row.
Oh my God.
would expect
This is
mess with your head.
diabolical.
All right. Question 3. In what state was Lincoln born?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Because it's I'm locked in with the wrong answer, I'm sure.
Kevin?
Well, before my answer, this makes me sound like a bad teacher, but sometimes I do stuff with my students to kind of mess with their heads. So if they're taking a test, sometimes I'll put all the answers as true just because then they start second guessing themselves.
Don't do that, man. That's terrible.
First hour, all the answers will be true. Second hour, they'll all be false to see which kids communicate with each other. And
that's
You have opened up a whole new level of teaching for me.
I'm in my 26th year, so I've got 4 more to go. And I still love it, but I got to keep myself amused sometimes. So, but for my answer, I guessed Kentucky.
Kels?
See, I knew it wasn't Illinois. And I was thinking it was somewhere like a lot countryer than Illinois, although everything was pretty country around this time. I also went with Kentucky.
All right. And Andy?
Kentucky.
Correct answer is Kentucky. And finally, what was the name of the theater where Lincoln was assassinated? And for a 5-point bonus, what was he watching? What was the name of the
Locked in.
Ooh,
What was the name of the play he was watching?
locked in.
I need theater tickets like I need a hole in my head.
Wow.
Yeah,
Too
I'm locked in on
Too
both.
soon? Too soon? Sorry.
Soon. Still a soft spot.
All right, Kels.
Ford Theater, and I believe it was Our American Cousin.
Andy.
The Ford Theater, but I think it's My American Cousin.
Oh,
And Kevin.
Ford Theater, and I guessed Our
Uh-oh.
American Cousin.
Oh, no.
Correct
No.
answer
Is right.
Correct answer is Ford's Theater and Our American Cousin.
Oh! That one hurts.
Yeah, sorry, Andy. I'm gonna, because you ought to have known that.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna
I will not
penalize you.
I will not take points for that.
Yeah.
I'll take pity points for NBA questions in wrestling, but no, I deserve to get that one marked wrong.
So at the end of our 6th category, the scores are Andy with 177, Kels 180, and Kevin 185.
Okay.
Show up.
And I've had
What
exactly
in the hell?
I've had one guess for the theme, and it was incorrect.
Incorrect. That's why I didn't
Okay.
even look at my phone.
Yeah.
See, Rita Moreno just ruins category 5 for what it could be.
She's never ruined anything in her
No.
life.
Bite your
You
tongue.
Take that back.
Hot little spicy number.
She's an
Rita
American
Moreno.
treasure.
Yeah, she is.
I still remember her from the Electric Company.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I remember her from Oz.
Okay.
That was
Oh, right.
that was my reintroduction, I guess. That's before I realized that was her in West Side Story that our music teacher made us watch.
All right. I've got 2 responses so far with no correct
All
answer.
right.
I do.
I
So,
feel really strongly about the categories I have.
Lincoln, Kentucky, Ford.
I'm going to have to call it, Andy.
Like category 3 is just
Yeah,
no.
category 3, I'm lost on. Well, wait a minute. Carter was in the Navy.
Was he in
It's
the
Village People.
So was there some between you two fighters, Blue and Carter?
Did the Village People
All right, so
have a
there are two-
politician?
yes, let me talk this out for a minute. So category 1's 1941. Category 2 is
1941?
Sharks. Yeah, those things all happened in 1941, I think. Category
Okay.
4 is dinosaurs. Category 5 should be the letter J, except for Rita Moreno. Category 6 is Lincoln.
Which would have helped you how if it was the letter J? How is it gonna help you?
All the other answers have J's in them.
Well, where's Joan Jett from? Is she also from Puerto Rico?
No, she's from Pennsylvania, if I remember correctly. She's a small town steel girl.
Mm.
I don't know. She was in California when she joined the Runaways.
Lincoln, dinosaurs.
Are you trying to figure out what the 6th category is?
Sharks.
I think he's got 6.
Guess.
Six was a kind of an easy one.
Jurassic. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer? I'm going with Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer.
Okay, that's not right.
It's incorrect, sir.
Okay, so Andy, I'm impressed. Category 1 was 1941.
Oh.
Okay.
Ethiopian Liberation Day, the first TV commercial station started in 1941. Gutzon Borglum died in 1941.
Oh,
Category 2 was obviously sharks.
yes.
Category 3. So the question 1, the key there was Groom Lake. You know where Groom Lake is?
Area 51.
Yep. And Foo Fighters.
Are they from New
Well,
Mexico?
the name came from
Roswell?
UFOs.
Right.
Oh.
Blue Book was the Project Blue Book, which was a government investigation into UFO phenomena.
And Carter claimed to have, is the only president who claims to have witnessed a UFO.
That's right.
Oh,
Category 4, you got that as dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
So the key, I'll tell you what the key words for Category 5 were. Puerto Rico, Jet, Shark, and Rita Moreno.
That's West Side Story,
That's
Oh.
West Side Story.
Oh.
I've got it now, but yeah.
which was my guess for everything, which was wrong.
Right.
But
So
That's
that's
how Rita,
West
that
Side
couldn't help
Story.
it.
Last one's Lincoln, UFOs, dinosaurs,
Lincoln
sharks, dinosaurs and sharks. Wait a minute, in 41. Damn it, I feel like I'm on the edge of this. Dinosaur sharks.
If I would have been able to get the first category, I probably would have thought of this.
Oh yeah, that was tripping me all the way up.
UFO.
And I'm
So
just
I
like-
don't know
yeah,
what
so
the
you-
theme is still.
Kevin, you figured it out now.
Yeah, but I already told Neil I gave up on the theme, but I do have
I
it.
don't
now.
have it. I am draw.
What
1941.
What do you think it
shark
is, Kevin?
status.
we're past the points. There's no points now for this, but
Steven Spielberg.
the correct answer is
19
Steven Spielberg.
Jaws. Was it Close Encounters?
Close Encounters or E E.T.
Yeah, and then Jurassic Park, the West Side Story remake,
Swear to
And-
God.
and then he did Lincoln.
Yep.
When I said I think I have it after category 2, I was thinking Spielberg for Jaws in 1941 with Belushi. And then category 3 threw me for a loop, and then I was lost after that, and I forgot about it. Hand to God, when I said I think I have it after category 2, I was looking for confirmation on Spielberg.
I just
I
figured.
thought
it
you
was
might
movie
have because I
related.
figured you were the one person that was going to get 1941 from that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nah,
that
I-
one stings. But category 3 threw me for a loop. Then Jurassic Park, I was thinking for category 4, but not. I forgot about Spielberg. I stopped connecting to Spielberg after that. Oh, well done. Well done, Neil.
Yeah.
I felt like these were getting too easy, so I tried to do a little bit more obscure.
No, that's really, really
And
well
luckily,
done.
with,
I really
with
like
Spielberg and his movies, there's a lot of variety.
Yeah. Yeah. Big
Although
spread.
one thing I noticed, he's done a lot of movies with Nazis,
A
like
lot?
1941.
Yeah.
1941.
Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List,
Yeah.
Schindler's List.
at least 2 or 3 of the Indiana Jones.
Indiana
right?
Jones movies.
Yeah. Nazis are referenced in almost all the Indiana Jones in some way.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was anything in Empire of the Sun, but the time is right.
Been a long time
I
since
never
I've seen
saw
that.
it.
All right. Anyway, so nice try. I hope you enjoyed that. But it is now time for
Sudden death.
Bum, bum, bum.
So these are 10 questions in sudden death about Steven Spielberg's movies.
Okay, and I'm
boy.
feeling rattled, so,
Should go
bring it
well.
on. I expect to die on the first question now.
I tried to do them kind of easier to harder, but if you get one wrong, you are out.
While we cobble together some semblance of an answer to this final question, after this show, head on over to the Misinformation Trivia Podcast. It is a trivia podcast for ladies and gents who love cool trivia and sticking it to annoying teams at pub quizzes. Are you that annoying team? Would you like to not be an annoying team? Listen to them. They're a good show.
So we're going to start with super easy one. Question 1. What candy had its sales tripled due to inclusion in a Spielberg movie?
Locked in.
Locked in.
I think that's all of us.
Okay. I didn't hear you, Kels. Go ahead,
Oh,
Kels.
okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. Reese's Pieces.
Kevin
Reese's Pieces.
and Andy.
Reese's Pieces.
Correct answer is Reese's Pieces. Interestingly, Mars opted not to pay for M&Ms to be included in the movie. That was their first choice. So their backup was Reese's Pieces.
Huh.
Question 2. Jurassic Park is based on a novel by what author?
Locked in.
Locked in.
There I go with the spelling again.
Oh, yeah, there's no way I'm spelling this guy.
Just don't look at my paper.
All right, Kevin,
Michael Crichton.
Andy,
I put MC on my paper, Kels. Michael Crichton.
and Kels.
Michael Crichton.
Correct answer is Michael Crichton. Question 3. What 2018 film revolves around a virtual reality entertainment world called Oasis?
Locked in.
2018?
Locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I'm right, locked in?
All right, Andy,
Well, I'm thinking Free Guy, but that's much later. Shit. Free Guy's what I wrote down.
all right, Kels,
Ready Player One.
Oh, right.
Kevin.
Damn it.
Ready Player One.
Correct answer is Ready Player One.
Ah,
Sorry,
Yeah.
Andy. It was a
Free
good
Guy's
run.
not even a, yeah.
Good show.
Free Guy's a better movie.
1974 Sugarland Express is the first time Spielberg worked with what composer?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Kels
John Williams.
and Kevin.
John Williams.
It's John Williams.
Would have gotten that one right. Just saying.
Question 5. What was the nickname of the animatronic shark used in Jaws?
Locked
Locked
in.
in.
Kevin
Bruce.
and Kels.
Bruce.
Named after
I
Spielberg's.
would not have gotten that one. I'm out again.
The crew named him after Steven Spielberg's lawyer, Bruce.
Oh.
Question 6. What is the name of Spielberg's production company?
Locked in.
Oh. What if. Does he have two? Or just. Because two came to mind. All right. I'm going to go with the. And I have one in parentheses. I'm locked in.
All right, Kels.
I wrote down DreamWorks for my answer, but also I put Amblin in my parentheses.
Kevin?
I went with Amblin.
I have Amblin. Let me do some checking here. You know what? DreamWorks was founded by Steven Spielberg, Katzenberg, and David Geffen. So I think I'm going to have to give you credit for DreamWorks. But the answer I was going for was Amblin with the ET logo.
The logo, yeah.
All right. What 1982 horror movie did Spielberg write and produce, but was directed by Tobe Hooper?
Oh, locked in.
Locked in.
Kevin?
Poltergeist.
Kels?
Poltergeist?
Correct answer is Poltergeist. I didn't know that Tobe Hooper directed Poltergeist. I was surprised to find that out. Question 8, a tribond. Morgan Freeman, Anthony Hopkins, and Matthew McConaughey.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Kels?
Amistad.
And Kevin.
Amistad.
Correct answer is Amistad. All right, let's get really trivial. What is Indiana Jones's first real first name?
Locked in.
I
I watched Last Crusade like Saturday. Sunday.
I love The Last Crusade. I could watch that every year.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, it is.
Locked in.
And this is the last line of the film, is it not, Kels?
They reference what his real name is.
At the very end of the...
Yeah, and where Indiana comes from.
Yeah.
Kevin?
I know Indiana's the dog's name, and I think he's Henry Jones Jr., so I went with Henry.
All right. And Kels?
Henry.
Correct answer is Henry.
Do the impression, Kels.
Marcus. I'm sorry.
Is that the whole impression?
I should have melded to the Marx Brothers.
Never gets old for me.
She talks in her sleep.
And finally, question 10. What future superhero starred in 1987's Empire of the Sun?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Kels?
Christian Bale.
And Kevin?
Christian Bale.
It is Christian Bale. All right. Well.
Oh my gosh, sports fans. And we should point out, Kels went over 10 the last sudden death tournament. Kels is killing it.
Yeah, that was amazing. I listened to that today. That was impressive.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But you could not be caught, I believe.
Our final scores, Andy with 197, Kels 280, and Kevin 285 points.
Oh, nicely
right.
done.
Well done.
The rookie
Thank you.
takes out Kels.
Nicely done, Kevin.
Appreciate
Well
it.
played.
Well, excellent question, Sensei.
The theme, I don't think we were swept. So.
Oh, I don't think we... Yeah, you didn't play the sweet music once.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll fix it in post. So good questions, Neil. Great time, I think, was had by all. Congratulations, Kevin.
Thank you.
From your fill-in host. This is me saying so long, Ladle Brainers, and I'm throwing it to Kevin.
This is Kevin. Thanks so much, guys, for having me on. Love the show, and this was a lot of fun.
Do you want to give a shout out to your school, Kevin, as there are tens of listeners out there?
I teach at Hazelwood West High School.
Hazelwood West. What's your team name?
The Wildcats.
Wildcats. Nice.
Wildcats.
Go Wildcats. And Kels?
Till You Do Right By Me. I love Color Purple, so. And then Steven Spielberg. That's a classic. Should have won Best Picture, but, that's a.
What won Best Picture that year?
Out of Africa.
Oh, that's dumb. All right. And the Sensei.
This is a song I came across doing research, but I ended up not using, but LB5K really liked it.
Here's a fantastic song from Was, Not Was. Boom boom, acca-lacca-lacca boom. Boom boom, acca-lacca boom boom. It was a night like this 40 million years ago. I lit a cigarette, picked up a monkey skull to go. The sun was spitting fire, the sky was blue as ice. I felt a little tired, so I watched Miami Vice. I walked the dinosaur, open the door, get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
So here's a little trivia nugget about Was Not Was.
Okay.
They're a really interesting band. Their first album they had a song that was so they were kind of like a funk song, a funk band, sort of
Yeah.
funk pop. But they have a song that was sort of rap sung by Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh, I'm
Off-
going
off
to
their
YouTube
first
for
album. Yeah, It's-
What?
interesting.
that. All right. On that note, so long, later, Brainers, signing off.
Was not was. Hello, ladlers. We here at the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast are thrilled to announce that we have merch, t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, mouse pads, a bottle of Crystal Pepsi, and a 1986 Buick Regal sitting on what the kids would say, dubs. I mean, the works. Go to brainladleshop.com and give our beautiful new shop a once over. Show your love of trivia and help support the show by locking in on your favorite swag. And remember our sales motto, if you want it, we got it. If we ain't got it, we're going to get it. So you better get it while the getting's good.
I'll do I'll do the intro in place of Davo. I got a little bit I think you'll appreciate.
Of course you do.
Really proud of this one, actually. The hard part's going to be when Kel starts to laugh.
I'll be sure to mute.
No, don't mute. That's the fun part. Don't mute yourself. Your laughing is the best part, please. It actually throws me off if you're not laughing. Like, no, I thought this would be good. I thought this was going to kill.
Okay.
So, let me get situated in my squeaky chair. My birthday's tomorrow. I'm hoping Wendy got me a new chair.
Good luck.
Oh,
buddy.
Sensei, what did you get me?
I'm sorry, what?
My birthday's tomorrow. What did you?
Yeah, I didn't know. Let's see.
You forgot my birthday again?
I mean, if I don't think I ever knew it, so I didn't really forget it.
Every damn year. All right.
Have I known you for more than a year?
Yes. This is our 200th plus episode.
Yeah,
You've been to my home.
that's true. It's a nice house.
The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.
Sure, come get this baby.